Hello everyone. So today we are here at Sobrante, and we just visit from Nisus their new ADU. It's steel frame, and I'm pretty amazed with it. It's actually the first time I see it here in the US. And so thank you for having us here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what made you choose the steel versus the framing? And we have Marcus with us helping here on this interview.
Yeah, you might see him in the frame. So the steel, it really comes down to like two parts. There's an offsite benefits, offsite construction benefits, and steel specific benefits. So the offsite is, me and my lead carpenter framed this entire structure in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Which is pretty crazy. Here, bud. And then as far as the steel, the steel specific parts, it comes down to weight.
Yes.
Having it be just much lighter makes things
that makes sense.
Much more hand movable. We did this all without any heavy equipment at all in 2 weeks.
How many guys?
Two guys. Myself.
2 guys.
Myself.
You can frame a house with 2 guys.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And probably Marcus was here to help.
He was watching. No, Marcus, no. And then also the steel specific benefits are just straightness.
Yeah, I mean
precision and straightness over wood. So there's not a lot of expansion and warping and things. You're chasing an 1/8 of an inch error around the house as you do. As long as your foundation corners are exactly, in our case, 40 feet and 25 feet, every panel almost to the millimeter across an entire wall are to the dimensions that are on the plans, which lets us do things like we can pre-cut our sheathing if we prefer. Yeah. We could cut out all our sheathing by CNC. There's just a lot of benefits that way. So as things move further into digital twins and having things designed on the computer, it's very helpful for our process.
How did you design? How did you communicate the design from what you wanted to the manufacturer making those walls? How did that work? Did they do the drawing for you? Did you do the drawing?
It's kind of a mix of both. So in my previous life, I was a special effects artist, so I'm very comfortable in that 3D design CAD environment. So I built a mock-up of this entire house, all of our critical dimensions that we wanted to hit. And then it was kind of since we're doing this for the first time, maybe about a month-long process. We worked with a company, Volstruct, out of Austin, Texas.
So that's the manufacturer building the steel, correct?
Yes.
Making those walls.
Yes, nice. They have a giant roll forming machine. It's pretty wild to see where these studs come out from their machine onto a giant table, and guys are just banging out panels so you can bolt them together when they're on site. But yeah, they took our mock-up model and then basically fit all of this steel structure inside the outer skin, so we could see exactly what we're doing. And we pass data back and forth to make sure everything is still lining up. And then from there, they take their model, and that goes directly into their machine and spits out the physical reality you see here.
That's very. So it came as panels.
As panels,
panels.
Each panel is about, I would say, about 4.5 feet wide.
Yeah, I see.
It has to fit on an 8-foot wide trailer to be road worthy. So.
And so straight from Austin, that's very impressive. That's actually where Matt...
on one trailer, the entire house.
That's actually where Matt Risinger is, so I'm very surprised he has never used that yet.
Yeah, I'm also surprised.
But no, amazing. And so, 2 guys to build it. And how long you said? You said 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks. Yeah.
And so how did you manage? So a lot of people would be concerned about the thermal bridging with the metal, of course. How did you manage that defect?
For sure. So it is a property that I would not say it's very desirable in a home building environment, but since we were already used to working with Huber wood, they have their Zip R6, so that's an inch of rigid insulation and a 1/2 inch of OSB sheathing on the outside. So basically, we jacket the entire house with it, so that entire house is almost like a thermos. Or a sweater is probably a better analogy. Containing that heat from jumping across into the steel. Nice. Yeah.
Okay, so that's definitely removing all of your thermal bridging. And so I think you're better than me with the studs, because my stud is conducting a lot of heat and cold, but now you're stopping it with this 1 inch. You said about
it's about an inch. About an inch. Yeah. It doesn't completely stop it, but I would say it's 90%.
Yes.
I think we.
No, that's very impressive. Very nice.
Yeah.
And any like, so I see you have done the floor too, and all the way to the ceiling.
Yes.
That makes it lighter too, I guess.
Yes, yes. And it was, since we're a build kind of, we build to repeat builds.
Yes.
It was very important to get at least this first house's entire framing package in one package.
Makes sense.
So there was no missing pieces, nothing we had to fabricate on site. It was just like, get it here, take all the pieces off the truck, and immediately start framing. But I think in a future build, maybe we may not do the floor out of steel. There are other companies that do these same kind of truss floors or roof trusses out of wood. It's just, then you need equipment. They're much heavier.
Much heavier, that makes sense.
Maybe 80% heavier.
Makes sense. And tool-wise, how did that work? Because we are used to the wood tools, the steel stove, and like, how did you manage? How did that work?
For the most part, everything is sheet metal screws. It's really one type of screw that holds together most of the framing in this house. Your hold downs are very traditional Simpson strap hold downs that get filled with screws. The only thing is a little different is punching service runs through cavities. Like at about 2-foot intervals, we have holes that are pre-punched from the factory to line up exactly. So if your electrician chooses and plans well, they can run all their lines without punching any holes.
You must save so much time on the drilling.
You do. Plumbing was a little bit different. So we have like a Milwaukee knockout tool, which will just like,
that's quick too. Holes. That's a lot quicker and
very quick. And it's clean.
It's clean. Yeah, you don't have to. So then you use MC cable everywhere, which is a lot stronger than Romex, the NM cable.
Usually you would have to. If you're going to use Romex in the steel, you will have to put a small plastic gasket around every time it crosses a stud. But with the jacketed cable, the little extra you spend.
This is so much. This is so much stronger. This is so much stronger. And your electrician did an amazing job. Actually, he's a local electrician here. He's known around. What's his name again?
Jimmy over at Luminati Electric.
Luminati.
Incredible.
He's very neat. His job is very clean.
Oh, also up here in the rafters.
Yes.
All of our building technically is a clear span support building. So we're going from these exterior walls to these exterior walls. Completely supporting off of these rafters. So all the walls in here are all partitions.
Nice.
So we can drill and cut and modify as we want.
You're not concerned about, that's great.
Yeah, that helps us a lot.
That makes sense. And if you want to remodel in the future, you don't have to be concerned about
Also true, yes. You could blow out any wall in this structure and create more of an open floor plan if that's what you prefer.
Nice. And I see that the ceiling, you can pass like so many mechanical equipment like pipes and ducts. So anything can be passed through with no drilling. That's very impressive. Very impressive.
Or minimal drilling.
Very minimal.
There's always some drilling to be done.
Some drilling, I'm sure. But wow, compared to wood, it is definitely. I'm very curious. I think I'd be curious to try it in the future. I mean, it seems like it would save time. I don't know about the finance, but it doesn't seem to be like a luxury. I mean, it seems to be more advanced than lumber, but it seems better.
I would recommend it to anybody, at least for the exterior walls.
Yes.
You can get a very precise envelope that works,
That's true.
And goes up really fast. So.
Yeah, no, time and labor, I think that's a great point. Thank you so much for showing me.
Absolutely, yeah.
I appreciate it. This is an amazing build, and I'm excited to see the final results.
Yeah, me too.